Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping into something really fundamental, but maybe overlooked. Mindful listening. Our sources suggest it's way more than just, hearing sounds. It's about being fully present, opening up to someone or even yourself,
Yeah,
and really connecting.
exactly. And what's fascinating looking at the research is that the real deep dive here isn't about just processing more words. It's actually sort of paradoxically about quieting your own internal chatter.
Quieting your own thoughts.
Yeah, when you turn down the volume on your planning what you'll say next, you start to pick up on this other layer, the rhythm, the pauses, the feelings under the words. It can completely change how you understand someone.
Okay, wow. So the idea is, what if you could unlock that deeper level in like every conversation? Make those connections feel much more real, more authentic.
That's the potential, yeah.
But it sounds simple, doesn't it? Just listen. But I know I catch myself.
Mhm.
Am I really listening or just waiting to jump in? So how do we actually, check ourselves? How do we know if we're doing it? Like the sources ask, do you listen right to the end? Or do you cut people off? Do you catch the emotion?
Yeah.
Or just the facts? And this one really got me. Do you hear the silence? The space between the sounds?
And that self-awareness, that checking in with yourself, that's absolutely the first step. You have to notice how you're currently showing up or maybe not showing up before you can change anything.
Right. You can't fix what you don't see. So one practical tool we found was this echo listening idea.
Ah, yeah.
It sounds pretty direct. Someone speaks, you listen completely. Then you say back what you heard in your own words. And then you ask, did I hear you correctly?
Mhm.
It makes sense for clarity, but would it feel a bit, I don't know, mechanical? Maybe even a little condescending?
That's a fair question. And the sources really stress that intention is everything here. It's not about being a parrot, right? It's genuine checking. Did I understand you?
Yeah.
And when you do it sincerely, it cuts through misunderstandings right away. But more than that, it builds huge trust because the other person feels truly undeniably heard. Their experience feels validated.
Okay, I can see how that shift in intention makes all the difference. It's powerful. And speaking of sensitivity, there was another practice, listen to the silence. That one really made me pause.
That's a profound one.
Find a quiet spot, close your eyes. First you notice the big sounds,
Yeah.
then the smaller, quieter ones. And then you try to hear the silence underneath it all. It's kind of amazing what emerges.
It really is. And that practice, it just sharpens your sensitivity like crazy, your attention to detail, not just for outside sounds, but for the subtleties in, well, anything. A conversation, a piece of music, anything. Tuning into the quiet bits.
Yeah, and there's that great example, the mindful case. Someone's listening to a friend, really listening without interrupting, and they suddenly noticed tiredness in his voice, even though he sounded calm on the surface, something they'd missed before. But because they were listening differently, they heard it and could actually be there for him.
That example is so key. It shows these hidden layers, right? When you train yourself to hear beyond just the words, you open up this whole other channel for connection. It's like, upgrading your hearing from mono to stereo or even surround sound. Suddenly these nuances, tiredness, unspoken joy, they become clear. It lets you offer real support.
And it's not just for talking to people, right? The sources show how wide this goes, like applying it to music. You could listen gently to Ólafur Arnalds, maybe focus on the silence with Sigur Rós, or really practice deep attention with Hammock.
Different modes of listening for different experiences.
Exactly. Or even with, like, food. The nutrition tip, actually listening to your food, the crunch of an apple, soup simmering, water pouring, eating slowly, and just hearing it.
Bringing mindfulness to everyday sounds.
Yeah. And then there's that little mini ritual before a conversation, just telling yourself, I want to hear the words, but also the heart, setting that intention.
Those are brilliant ways to weave it into daily life. They shift your whole awareness. And maybe a couple of final quick tips from the sources. In a chat, try focusing less on your reply, more on what was just said. Use your eyes too. Watch expressions, gestures.
Listen with your whole body almost.
Right. And even listen to yourself. Record voice notes sometimes, then play them back. It's illuminating.
So quite a journey today, exploring how this mindful listening thing can really deepen understanding, build connections, just by truly tuning in to what's said and what isn't.
Which leaves us with a thought for you to take away. If you really embrace this, how might it change things, not just with other people, but your relationship with your own inner world? What might you start to hear there?
Something to definitely sit with. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Go give it a try.